Hello, everybody. Today we're going to take a look at the swing state polling from Emerson College. And there's a couple notable numbers, but overall, this is a pure toss-up race in every state. So let's get into the data. And this was taken August 25th through the 28th. The sample used likely voters, and in each state, it was between 720 and 950. So keep in mind that margin of error, and as always, this is just one pollster. But let's get into the 7 battlegrounds. And first, in Arizona, Trump has a 3-point lead here, 50 to 47. Only 2% undecided, so that is low. In Georgia, Harris is up by 1, 49 to 48. In Michigan, Harris is up 3, 50 to 47. In Nevada, again Harris with a small 1-point lead, 49 to 48. In North Carolina, it's Trump with the 1-point lead, 49 to 48. Pennsylvania is dead even at 48 apiece. And in Wisconsin, Trump has the 1-point edge, 49 to 48. And as you can see, in every state, it's only about 3% that say other or undecided. So it really doesn't get much closer than that. It's either tied or a 1-point advantage in every state, or Harris is up 3 in Michigan, or Trump is up 3 in Arizona. All of that is well within the margin of error. So if everything broke one way or the other, it might be possible for Trump or Harris to win all these states by likely margins of 5 or more points. That seems unlikely at this point, but this indicates the extreme polarization that we've been used to for most of this election cycle. Now, they also break it down with some different groups. It says Harris leads Trump among independents in each state with the exception of Nevada, where Trump leads 50 to 44. There's also a stark gender divide, similar to that of 2020. In 6 of the 7 swing states, Harris leads Trump among women. However, in Arizona, Trump has a 2-point edge on Harris among women voters, a group that broke for Biden by about 3 points in 2020. So independents are absolutely going to be key. And in Arizona, Harris is up by 6, 51 to 45. In Georgia, she's up huge, 16 points, 54 to 38. Michigan, she's up 3, 46 to 43. North Carolina, she's up 2, 48 to 46. Nevada is the state where Trump has the 6-point edge, 50 to 44. Pennsylvania, Harris is up 8, 48 to 40. And in Wisconsin, she is up 9, 52 to 43. So it's unclear why Nevada is the outlier there, going for Trump with independents. And in Georgia, a 16-point lead for Harris with independents. That does seem unreasonable. But all the rest are close. Harris does have the edge, yet the top line number shows it pretty much dead even. How about voters under 30? We would expect these to go easily toward any Democrat. And in Arizona, Harris has a 30-point lead, 65 to 35. In Georgia, she's up 25, 60 to 35. In Michigan, she's up 30, 62 to 32. In North Carolina, she has a 26-point advantage, 55 to 39. In Nevada, it's massive. It's a 42-point lead, 70 to 28. Pennsylvania, it's 30 points, 65 to 35. And Wisconsin is the closest, just a 13-point advantage for Harris, 54 to 41. I would expect Harris to get at least in the high 50s, probably in the low 60s with that group. The question is, are they going to turn out for her? Next, with women voters in Arizona, Trump surprisingly has a 2-point lead, 50 to 48. In Georgia, Harris is up 10, 54 to 44. Michigan, she's up 15, 56 to 41. North Carolina, she's up 7, 53 to 46. Nevada, Harris is up 9, 53 to 44. Pennsylvania, she's up 12, 54 to 42. And in Wisconsin, Harris up 11, 54 to 43. Last time Biden got about 57% with women, so I would guess Harris is going to need to do at least close to that number. Now on the other side with men, in Arizona, Trump is up 6, 52 to 46. In Georgia, he's up 10, 53 to 43. Michigan, he's up 11, 54 to 43. North Carolina, he's up 10, 53 to 43. Nevada, he's up 7, 52 to 45. In PA, Trump leads by 14, 55 to 41. And in Wisconsin, he's up 13, 55 to 42. Last time, Trump was around 53 with men. Again, I would expect him to need to do at least as well to win this race, but of course, turnout is going to be a key factor. So what about down ticket in the U.S. Senate elections? We've seen Biden and Harris running well ahead of Senate Democrats. These numbers, for the most part, indicate they still have the clear lead. In the Arizona Senate race, Ruben Gallego is up 7, 49 to Kari Lake's 42. In Michigan, Alyssa Slotkin is up 6, 47 to Mike Rogers' 41. In Nevada, Jackie Rosen is up 10, 50 to Sam Brown's 40. That is a big lead and going to be outside the margin of error. Then they bounce over to the North Carolina governor's race. Josh Stein, the Democrat, has a 6-point lead, 47 to Mark Robinson's 41. Pennsylvania Senate, Bob Casey, 48, David McCormick, 44. That 4-point lead for Casey, I would think, would be a little bit larger larger if the other Senate Democrats have a wider lead. And in Wisconsin, we've got Tammy Baldwin only with a 1-point lead, 49 to Eric Hovde's 48. That might be the best poll for Hovde I've seen so far this cycle. That might be the biggest surprise out of all this data. Either that race is tightening or it's an outlier. For now, I'm going to think it's more of an outlier, but at the same time, I think Jackie Rosen winning by 10 also seems like a little bit of an outlier. So Democrats there looking better than the GOP for the Senate as well as North Carolina governor. But what about the top issues? Well, in every one of these states, the economy is number one. And generally, the economy is an issue that favors Trump, sometimes by a significant margin. So unless things turn around dramatically in the final couple of months, Trump really should try to tap into that. Now, the number 2 and 3 issues range between immigration, housing, threats to democracy, healthcare, and education. Sometimes abortion ties into healthcare. If that is the case, and that is going to be an issue that favors Harris, she should lean into it. But overall, that's on here very little in the top 3 issues across these states. Then they actually asked about Project 2025 and if it makes them more or less likely to support Donald Trump or if it has no impact. Overall, a plurality in all states said it makes no difference or they are not familiar. And as expected, it's mostly low double digits to the mid-teens that say it's more likely. The mid to high 30s say it's less likely, and also the mid to high 30s say that it just makes no difference. Another 10 to 13% say they're not familiar, and they also isolate it down to just independents, and it's an even wider gap. So if that is going to be a significant factor in this race, that's one that should advantage Harris. Then they ask if taxes on tips should be eliminated or if tips should remain taxable. In every state, we've got about 65 to 74% that say it should be eliminated. Only about 12 to 20% say it should remain taxable. In the state of Nevada, where this issue has gotten the most coverage, they're at 71% that think it should be eliminated. And finally, they ask, how do you think President Biden will go down in history? Outstanding, above average, average, below average, or poor? Here, it's not a shock. It doesn't really look too good for Biden. In all 7 states, between 17 and 20% say outstanding, 15 to 18% say above average, 14 to 18% say average, 12 to 16% say below average, and 35 to 40% say poor. So this is pretty much where we're at with polarization these days. Each side is going to have their base of support that loves everything they do, but there's going to be a ton of people in the middle that feel otherwise or at least have a more mixed reaction. So that's pretty much it for this Emerson poll. There's some good data here. At the top of the ticket, it looks like an intense battle for the White House. Democrats maintain the edge in these Senate races, but there's plenty of time left. We've had so many changes from Biden dropping out, the Trump assassination attempt, J.D. Vance, Tim Walz, the 2 conventions, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. dropping out, and that's just over the past couple of months. So Labor Day is coming up. I'm going to say that's the unofficial kickoff to election season. Also, down at the bottom, you can click here for full results to take a look at some of the question wording and some of the crosstabs. I'm sure there's some good stuff in there, and we'll keep following it, but that's it for this Emerson poll as of very late August. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about any of the data in this poll? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's not fair? Did they oversample Democrats? Did they oversample Republicans? Do you trust the weighting, or do you think they got it wrong? Which state is most believable? Which are you not buying? What about the Senate races? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to help support the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.